guys, in this video we're going to be reviewing and unboxing the DREO Fan Heater Solaris 718. I got everything opened. I actually opened the bottom to hopefully make this easier for me to take out. We'll see. Alright, so we have the top here with the bottom. The top did have styrofoam on it, it's just stuck in the box. Everything is wrapped really well. The cord down here is wrapped well as far as the heater goes too. I'll take it out of the styrofoam base. It separates. So the remote is actually on here on the bottom. It's taped and everything is secured really well. I'm going to try to open it. So we have the remote control. We'll go over that more in detail. Has a warning on here about heat stroke. And then we have the cord here. I have to look in the box for the manual. I don't see it right now. It might have been stuck on that upper half. Cord's a nice heavy duty cord. Looks like it might have some pretty good length too. Let's unravel it and see how long it is. I also have an outlet behind me so we can test everything right here. The cord's a nice length. I have plenty of room to plug it in here. I'm gonna take all the tape and everything off and then we'll kind of see what we have going on here. And if you have already a fan with them, a tower fan, the remote here has a nice spot on the back when you turn in here, right here, and you can place your remote here and you have a spot to hold your remote. I love that. We have a couple of the tower fans in our home, and it's great. We always know where the remote's at, so. And it's magnetic as well. As soon as you put it in there, that puppy stayed. Awesome feature. Loving that. Alright, get the tape off. Overall, it's sturdy. I mean, I'm having it on a pretty fuzzy carpet. It doesn't seem to wiggle too much at all. I obviously get worried about it tipping over when it's on because you just never know with the heater. Safety is key. And then up here is all your touchpad options as well. Like I said, we'll go over that more in detail. Okay, so I just plugged it in, and you can tell from the interface here, it has the red on, like plugged in button, so you know when it is plugged in. So now up here is the options, and when it's plugged in, the power button lights up. So we have this on. And it beeps. Currently, right now, it's turning. And this button up here, once it turns back, is the oscillation button. So it's the rotation button. And there's a couple of different settings for that you can set it up of how you want it to rotate. Right now, I have it that it's not rotating, so we can go over everything. So I have it set right now, and it's at the heat level 1. You can change your heat levels by the plus and minus. So when you do plus, it goes up to 2, 3, 4, and 5 heat level. And it goes back down to 1. And then obviously you can rotate doing your less as well. You have your 3 line button here, which is like your settings. And you can go ahead and set up to a certain heat level if that's what you prefer. Then you have your fan settings. So the fan settings has fan 1, fan 2, and fan 3. And then again, you can go ahead and do your heat settings with the plus or minus button. We're going to go back and more into the settings here. And now it's back into the heat mode. And then you have your 3 seconds for your, 3 seconds for your lock would be here. And then you have your power. And I believe when you're in the settings here, you can go all the way up. I'm going to go all the way up. It goes up to a top of 95. And then I believe it goes down to a low 45. So now I heard it switch off to that it's going off into the heat, and it's going more into like a cooling of the fan setting. It goes down to 41. So 40, 41. So you have a range from 40 to 95 degrees, which you want to set it to. So again, it's a heater, but it can also be into a fan. Again, if you want to do the heat levels, you can, or a fan level, you can go ahead and set it to whatever temperature that you would like. Or if you want to just keep it simple, again, you can go into those 3-dot mode. And if you want your fans, your F is for your fan, and your fan levels again are from 1, 2, and 3. Or your heat mode, which you have more heat settings on here. You have your heat 1, your heat 2, your heat 3, your heat 4, and your heat 5. So on the heat 5, it is not noisy. I mean, it's a little bit noisy, but it's not super noisy. It's comfortable. The fans, I feel like, are a little bit louder. When you're on heat 1, it is extremely quiet. We're going to go back to fan. The fans are a little bit louder, but you have your fan 1, again, your fan 2, and your fan 3. And your fan 3 is obviously going to be your higher settings, your fan 3 or your heat 5. It's going to be a little bit louder, but it's not anything as loud as what I've heard before from a fan or or from a heater. And then again, you have this remote control, and we'll kind of go over the remote control here more in detail. So you have your power mode here that will turn it on and off. And you can see when I pressed it once, there is a 30-second timer that goes down, or you can press it again. And when you press it again, here, we're going to let it focus in. So I'm set to the heat 2 setting, and I press the power. It goes into a 30-second countdown, or if you hit it again, it will just turn it off completely. And then here again, you have your up or your minus. So it will go through your heater modes, or it will go through your fan settings, whatever you have on. And then you have your 3 dots like you do on the top of the machine that will put it through your modes. So again, you can set it through your specific temperature that you want, which is 40 degrees through 95, or you can set it into your fan settings. And when you switch to your fans, again, you can do that up and down to your fan 2, fan 1, fan 2, or fan 3, or you can go into your heat. And then you can do your heat 1, heat 2, and so forth. You have your timer mode, which is your 0 hours all the way up. And you just keep on pressing that timer mode of which you want to set to, up to 12 hours. And then we have your mute button. So if you don't want to hear it beeping, you have that as well. Here's your oscillation mode that can turn it. It's set to 120 degrees to turn right now. And I'm going to let it turn all the way over so you can see the range of it. So you get a nice 120 degree turn. We'll let it come back to the front, and then we'll show you the other degrees as well of how it turns. So once I get it front facing here, we're gonna go ahead and stop it. I think if you press it again, when you press it once, you can go the up and down, so it has 90 degrees. Whoops, I'm doing the thing, heat again. Sorry, the level. Or you can press that again. I'm messing around with it. So you get the 120, the 0 degrees, 30, 60, 90, or 120 is the oscillation of it turning. So you do have a couple of different ways of how much you want it to turn, how much you don't want it to turn, which is nice. So you can do 0, 30, 60, 90, again, or that 120. We'll leave it at the 0 so it stays nice and straight here. So your remote is super simple, easy. Again, you have your controls up here at the top, and then you have your back portion here, and you can just go ahead and put your remote back there. And it does have the magnetic, and then you can also pick up your heater with this as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to test the heating and the fan in mainly at my family room. My family room was used to be an old garage, and it was converted into a family room. We do have heating put into that room, but it always stays cooler. So we're going to go ahead and give it, some testing in there, and then I'll let you know how it goes. Might try it out in my office, which is a smaller room, and see what we can see as far as the heating goes. And my office is in the basement. That will give us a good feel, as well as, and we'll go ahead and test the fans as well. And then we'll report back and I'll give you my overall thoughts. All right, so I used my DREO Solaris 718 heater for just over a week. And overall, I like it a lot. I primarily used it in our family room, which is a bigger room, in the evenings when it started to get cooler. And I used it at like the heater 1, heater 2 settings that go up to that heater 1 through 5. I didn't use it really on the individual like settings that you can do to a specific degree. And we started at a heater 1, and it was pretty comfortable. I did crank it up to 2 or 3, and I'm on the chillier side compared to my husband, and I was sweating him out of the room. At that time when we were using it though, I did use it on that oscillation where it was turning to that 120 degrees is where I kept it. So I kept it on that higher degree, and it was dispersing the heat throughout the room rather well. When he was getting a little bit hotter and I was still chilly, I had it stop moving, and I had it angled to where I was sitting, and I still kept it up at that heater 2 range, and I was comfortable. I can definitely see us using this in the heater mode more down in that family room, especially in the colder months, just because it stays cooler on that level of my home. But the relative use of it is super simple. Like I said, when we were going over the controllers to control it, having that controller is wonderful, so I don't have to keep on getting up off the couch, because when you're comfortable in the evening, you don't want to move, so controller for the win. As far as the sound goes, sound was not a problem. We didn't have to adjust the sound on the television, having it on those higher modes. So to me, the sound was comfortable. It wasn't anything overbearing. As far as the fan goes, it is comparable to the fan 1, 2, or 3 on our DREO tower fans that we have now. But I didn't really use it too much in that mode. I did test it out, but we primarily used it in the heater mode because this is what we're gonna probably use it more for. But for the price that it is set at, I believe, which is like that $119 range, it is a great combined if you were doing it for a fan or into that heating mode at a great price for both if you were gonna have it set up. I just like DREO, period. The products are super sleek. I like the look of them all. The compatibility of it, to just place it in a room and it can kind of sit on its own and do its thing out of the way, is what I like about it. It fits the aesthetic of my home rather well. Overall, I'm extremely pleased with it. I think it is set up to do what it was. I never had a problem with it throughout. I would highly recommend for your family if you're using it and you need that portable heater in your home for those rooms that are chillier. But overall, it's a fantastic product and I highly suggest that you check it out.